During the endless summer sale, get 30% off paints and stains with sale prices starting at $29.39. Hurry, it's only August 26th through September 5th. Shop online or at your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store.
Want a worry-free way to kill bugs? Zevo traps use light, not odors or chemical insecticides, to attract and trap flying insects. They work continuously, so you don't have to. Zevo. People-friendly, bug-deadly.
Tomorrow on ET, what to expect from this year's MTV VMAs.
I can tell you about it, but I'd rather show you.
Plus, our Kimora Lee Simmons exclusive, ready for a reality TV return as a Real Housewife.
They call me every season. Someone's asking me all the time.
Beverly Hills, sign her up.
Are they ready? Are they ready for her?
Up. I don't think so. Look, before we go, the Beverly Hills 90210 family lost cast member Joe Itata. He played beloved Peach Pit owner Nat for all 10 seasons.
We leave you now with ET's Time with Joe. Take care, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
It's the kids. I love the kids. I love how they scream about everything. It's wonderful. That's the magic of it.
Happening now.
Coming up, a pivotal day at the public corruption trial of Michelle Barrientos Vela. The county star witness takes the stand.
I'm standing in the school that had the worst damage 5 years ago during Hurricane Harvey here in Port Aransas. I'm Courtney Friedman. Coming up tonight, the resiliency of where they are 5 years later.
More rain on the radar screen to talk about. We'll take a close look at that, and the newest drought monitor is in. I'll see you in a bit.
First at 5, it is official. The Uvalde CISD Police Chief Pete Arredondo is out. The question now is who will replace him, and what does that job look like now?
Yeah, and talk about trust. A lot of parents will be sending their kids back in Uvalde. Kids sent back to school in less than 2 weeks from now. One former school resource officer who also served as a supervisor at one point tells us taking on the challenge of regaining the public's trust won't be an easy task. Mo Kennedy with the National Association of School Resource Officers says whoever is put in charge needs to have a good understanding of that first and foremost.
There's got to be, when you put an officer in a school, they are very carefully selected and they are very specifically trained and properly equipped to do the job. It's not just about being prepared to take on an active shooter. There are a number of other things that go into that day-to-day work.
Kennedy says the NASRO trains its officers to think beyond times of crisis and focus on what he calls community-based policing, which helps them to build solid relationships with the community.
In New at 5, the city and TxDOT conducting what the state agency says is meant to be the final sweep of a long-time homeless camp under I-37 this morning.
Dozens of people experiencing homelessness had been living under the interstate downtown, which is close to some outreach services that they tend to need. But Garrett Berger tells us that spot may no longer be an option.
First thing Thursday morning, the city of San Antonio and TxDOT came through the camp at I-37 and Brooklyn Avenue. The people staying there were cleared out. Anything left behind, thrown away.
So this morning I woke up at 7:14 and it was like the cops were right there and we had to hurry up and go. So that's why everything's just like thrown together.
A city spokesman says outreach workers were out in the camp ahead of time, offering services and encouraging people to try local shelters. And again on the day of.
So it's not just like city and other agencies just show up this morning, for example, and just clear out the area.
Clear-outs like this are a regular practice of the city, which refers to them as abatements. But they also attract criticism.
It is extremely traumatic to forcibly displace people without proper and sustainable solutions for them to go to.
It's not the first time the area's been cleared out. The TxDOT spokeswoman said it would hopefully be the final one. She says they've received complaints from nearby businesses and homeowners, and the agency plans to fence off much of the area from a little above Hayes Street down to Nolan Street. But she said a portion in the middle will remain unfenced, where there are plans for a developer to lease it out. By late morning, the whole area was cleared. And with 2 dogs in tow, one man we talked to didn't think he'd try a shelter, but he didn't know where else he'd go either.
There is no plan B and plan C, so I have to entrust myself in God's hands and see what happens.
The TxDOT spokeswoman said that they were expecting the fencing to be completed sometime next week. In the meantime, you can already see behind me that tents are once again popping up underneath I-37 down here near Nolan Street. Now, up in the what will be the unfenced area up there. The TxDOT spokeswoman said she did not have any information as to who would be leasing it or what they plan to do with it or when. Live downtown, I'm Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Garrett. The destruction of records before leaving office and the altering of security paperwork after an Easter dispute at Rodriguez Park. Those were the focal points of day 3 of testimony in the public corruption trial of Michelle Barrientos Vela. Dylan Collier digs into the testimony of her former employees.
Thursday marked the most critical day of testimony for the prosecution so far. Precinct 2 clerk turned county whistleblower Susan Tristan, whose interviews with law enforcement in the summer of 2019 are at the center of this case, spent hours on the stand, walking the jury through the new security agreements created by Michelle Barrientos Vela after a park goer accused her of shaking him down for hundreds of dollars of cash on Easter 2019.
It happened with all the Easter incident issue happened around that time.
A visit from a Texas Ranger after the incident rattled the Precinct 2 constable as she was told to start gathering records to hand over to law enforcement. It's those documents that form the basis of this criminal trial.
Constable Michelle was very upset, and then all administration went into the conference room again.
A second Precinct 2 employee, Clerk Michael Villanueva, described some of the last instructions he got from Barrientos Vela before she formally stepped down.
Probably a week prior, before they were to leave their office, the whole administration gave me a whole box of paperwork to shred.
Villanueva, however, gave the wrong time frame of this alleged incident, as Barrientos Vela had already vacated office months before the date given by the clerk. What remains to be seen is what impact this will have on the jury and whether the prosecution's methodical approach is connecting with the people who will ultimately decide Barrientos Vela's fate. Reporting downtown, Dylan Collier, KSAT 12 News.
He was killed and left for dead in a parking lot last May, and the search for his killer continues. Now Crime Stoppers asking for your help in tracking that person down. Jonathan Rodriguez died May 18th. Shot while sitting in his car at the Vintage at Oak Hill Apartments on Babcock Road near Loop 410. San Antonio police believe whoever shot him also stole that car. If you have any information on this case, call Crime Stoppers at 210-224-STOP.
We want to take you out into the lanes of traffic, let you know how things are doing out there. This is 410 at Harry Wurzbach, and as you can see, not a lot of cars out there, and everything's moving along right at speed.
And no rain around San Antonio for this evening commute. Some showers elsewhere. Still some steady rain farther to the west. We're talking Crystal City down toward Carrizo Springs. And then just some isolated activity moving into Pleasanton right now as it starts to fall apart a little bit. So just very widely separated action. Right now, temperatures 80s, 70s, and 90s. We have a little bit of everything. We're going to talk about the changes into the weekend and even next week and what it means for rain chances coming up.
Thank you, Adam. It has been exactly 5 years since Hurricane Harvey made landfall near Rockport. Winds of 130 miles an hour and a 12-foot storm surge, leaving much of the town damaged or destroyed.
Meteorologist Justin Horn was there when Harvey came ashore. He joined us live to talk about that historic night. And Justin, we're also going to talk about just how far Rockport has come in the 5 years since then.
It's very true, and it's already been 5 years, but you can still find some damage here, like this pier here behind me, or some lots where homes used to be. After all, Harvey was a historic storm in the sense that in the Gulf of Mexico, it was a depression and strengthened into a Category 4 storm in just about 40 hours, which is incredible. It had winds of 130 miles per hour, gusted to 145, and it brought hurricane force winds here to the Texas coast for 13 hours. You can imagine what kind of damage that will do to homes and structures. And I know when we arrived here the day after Harvey hit, it was destruction unlike anything I had ever seen before. And a third of the population here in Rockport left after Hurricane Harvey. But one thing we know for sure is that Rockport is a very resilient community, and they've shown that. That's also true for nearby Port Aransas, and there back to school means something completely different this year. Every school in Port Aransas ISD was damaged, so the community rallied around them. And as Courtney Freeman learned, the school system is considered the heart of the community.
By the time Harvey poured its last drops onto the town of Port Aransas, every school in the area had been torn apart.
So we did not have even one classroom that would be available for students for months. Standing water everywhere, roof issues, no electricity in August.
Sharon McKinney is going into her 7th year as Port Aransas ISD superintendent. Almost all of that time spent in recovery mode.
Completely shut down for 7 weeks. And when we returned to the district and opened up school, all of our classes were being held in temporary portable buildings.
The middle school took on the most damage.
You can see by the size of these huge columns that this is a very strong building, but it was still no match for Hurricane Harvey. The entire roof flew off of the building and destroyed everything underneath it.
As they cleared the rubble, something else became clear too. This district is full of fighters, helpers, and leaders.
I'll never forget the time I walked into a one classroom portable building in what was high school at the time, and I had 4 math teachers in 4 corners sitting in chairs with the kids. Our staff, man, they worked miracles.
One of those miracle workers, middle school principal James Garrett, starting his 10th year on the job. He says after what his school has been through, they take nothing for granted.
It's just nice to have a building.
But he's realized over 5 years, that's not really what matters.
The people that are in the building is the most important thing.
And the people outside of these buildings truly understand that.
When the tourists leave, you really find that the schools are the very foundation, I say the heart and soul of our community.
The community's love for their schools touched the hearts of people across the state and the world.
These flags represent other schools that donated and helped out to the middle school after Hurricane Harvey.
Waving above the middle school entrance, a daily reminder that even when the world seems crazy, unmanageable, unfair, there are good people everywhere rooting for resilient communities just like Port Aransas. Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
And Port Aransas wasn't the only district severely damaged. Here in Rockport, they've spent the last 5 years rebuilding some of those schools as well. Courtney Friedman brings us their story coming up at 6 o'clock. And to learn more about our coverage of Hurricane Harvey and the 5-year anniversary, you can click on the QR code here on your screen, or you can check it out on KSAT.com. Reporting live in Rockport, Justin Horn, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Justin. So hard to believe that it's been 5 years. Meantime, the clock is ticking, and the Justice Department now has until tomorrow at noontime to make public a redacted version of the affidavit regarding the Mar-a-Lago search of former President Trump. U.S. Magistrate Judge in Florida making that ruling today. It means the public could soon get a better understanding of what led the FBI to search Mar-a-Lago earlier this month. You can read more about this on KSAT.com.
Going to college costs a lot of money, so how can you protect your investment? Coming up, we'll take a look at tuition insurance and dorm insurance. It can provide peace of mind, but do you always need it?
I'm Myra Arthur, and here's what's coming up today on the news at 6 o'clock. 2 months after the U.S. Supreme Court ruled to overturn the constitutional right to abortion, the Texas trigger ban takes effect today. The law makes performing an abortion, even from the moment of fertilization, a felony in Texas. Alicia Barrera tells us why abortion providers say that changing the law does not change the realities that so many people face. Plus, we are now in day 3 of the murder trial of a man accused of killing someone over a dispute about tires. We're hearing from the accused himself today. Erica Hernandez shares the text messages from the victim that Richard Vallejo told a jury he took as a threat, why he says this was self-defense. That story and more today at 6.
Thank you, Myra. I'll see you then. Well, it's no secret that college costs a lot of money. We're talking an average of $27,000 a year. That's for a state school, double that for a private university. So how can you protect your investment? 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz looks at college insurance.
Amy Miller has 2 daughters headed off to college. Double tuition, room and board.
It's just very expensive, and it's an investment. So you're making an investment in your kid.
We're talking tens, even hundreds of thousands of dollars. So what if something goes wrong? First, there's tuition insurance.
If your child experiences a major health issue and has to drop out midway through the semester, in that case, the tuition insurance would refund you for the portion of it your child did not receive.
Most tuition coverage is only for serious health issues. Check to see precisely what's covered. You might not even need it, though, if your school has a generous refund and withdrawal policy. So check that first. Keep in mind, many don't offer refunds if you withdraw after the first month of the semester. So ask if there are exceptions for mental health or emergencies. Next, dorm insurance. Something to consider if your student has expensive stuff, laptops, phones, musical instruments.
Dorm insurance covers all the stuff that your kid may be taking with him or her to college. If something happens, it's one way that you can get coverage, reimbursement for loss, damage.
You may already have some coverage with your homeowner's policy, but dorm insurance will have a much lower deductible and may be the cheaper option. If living in an off-campus apartment, they will need renter's insurance. As Amy knows, where kids are involved, life is unpredictable.
We just kind of want to hope that everything's going to go smooth until it doesn't.
Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Steve and I both know that.
Yeah, we do.
Quite well.
All right, live look outside right now. It is here, high school football, as we take a live look over Alamo Stadium. The rock pile getting ready for a big matchup tonight.
Yeah, Jay versus Brack.
Yeah. And the weather not too bad.
Yeah, it kind of cleared up.
Yeah, compared to a couple weeks ago when we were worried we were going to be playing these games in triple digits.
That's true. At least it's not triple digits. Of course, we have the humidity, and they won't be slip-sliding around on a wet field or with a wet football either. We have had some good rainfall lately. I'll show you the 5-day totals in just a moment. More rain chances do lie ahead. However, I think they're going to drop off significantly through the weekend and then pick up again into next week. That's when I think we have better odds toward about the middle of next week. And temperatures likely to stay under 100 degrees. We're still one day away of that all-time record of 100-degree days in a year, and it's proven to be elusive now as we progress through August. Take a look at our rain chances. 30% tomorrow, down to 20% Saturday, Sunday, and even on into Monday. Then we boost them back up again. Middle of next week by Wednesday, we're up to about 40%. So that puts us in the scattered category, widely separated action likely to develop. But it's kind of an uncertain weather pattern. I do think we still have better odds of rain, but there's a chance we could raise those odds in the days ahead. So check back in for updates. Looking at the radar right now, not a lot of activity out there as we speak. East of town, parts of DeWitt County, a few little downpours here and there, fairly isolated in nature. And then you get into Atascosa County. Most of what we had moving into Atascosa County from Karnes County, or Wilson County, I should say, is tapering off for the most part. One downpour just south of Poteet, basically between Poteet and Pleasanton, and it is clipping downtown Poteet briefly, and looks like this is mostly going to pass to the north of Jourdanton and just give Jourdanton a brief light rain. Uvalde, flash flooding today. This flash flood warning, this green polygon, that goes until 5:30 p.m. The rain is tapering off in Uvalde. You head south into Zavala County. Still some moderate rain detected, and that's going to continue until it dissipates closer to sunset and really fizzles out. All right, this is what I like to see. Doppler radar estimates over the past 5 days. I know there's a lot on the map, a lot of colors. That's good, though. We like colors on this map. Rule of thumb, when you see the yellow on this map, that's 2 inches or more of rainfall. The purple, that's 7 to 8 inches of rain. I mean, drought-denting rainfall. So it was a really good rain for some. Unfortunately, you get up near New Braunfels and not as much of a promising situation over the past several days. Not as much rain there, but that's the nature of the rainfall. We all are used to that, especially in the summertime. It's not equal opportunity. Here's the newest drought monitor. 87% of Texas is in drought. That's a 6% improvement compared to last week. And this does not take into account the rainfall that we had here yesterday. The cutoff for the data is Tuesday morning. So I do anticipate more improvements by this time next week with the next drought monitor to come. Here's the radar of the past 12 hours. You see most of the action south of San Antonio. That's where that boundary has been basically sitting today, but it's washing out, and I don't think it's going to be a big active player as we go into the weekend. 90 our high temperature today. That's 5 below average, 91 right now. Temperatures for the most part in the 90s, but under the clouds, we're in the 70s off to the west where we've had that rain. 73 Uvalde, for example. Mid-90s tomorrow through the weekend, just a few stray pop-up afternoon showers. And then next week, we boost those rain chances again by Wednesday.
Rain again. Wow. Thanks.
All right, I have Hank Williams Jr. playing in my mind right now. I know it was Monday Night Football. I know it was the NFL, but I am ready for some football, Greg Simmons.
Yeah, I think everybody is here, especially after the 2 seasons of going through COVID and saw Sky 12 above. So you know this is an important night because it is the first night of the high school football season 2022. When we come back, we'll get you ready for the 4 big games we have in our area coming up. Also, is the season already over for this Dallas Cowboy coming up? Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome live to Alamo Stadium for the start of the high school football season tonight. 4 big games in our area, including John Jay and Brackenridge right here at Alamo Stadium. Now, the John Jay Mustangs are in that very difficult district, 29-6A, of all the Northside schools competing, including the newest Sotomayor. Head coach Gary Gutierrez welcomes back 13 starters, including a dual-threat quarterback, Jackson Gutierrez, who rushed for over 1,200 yards, 10 touchdowns, another 961 yards in the air, 4 an additional 7 TDs for the Brackenridge Eagles. They're in Class 5A Division II with all the San Antonio School District teams. And now Alamo Heights, Harlandale, McCullum. Head coach Larry Norman has 17 starters back, a new starting quarterback in Brandon Garcia.
I expect us to get a whole lot better. We were a young team last year. We did good, but didn't go up to expectations. We can do a lot better.
I've seen a few of the games. They got some dudes too on there, but we have a good chance against them. It'll be a dogfight.
All right, here's a look at the games we have for you tonight. Jay and Brackenridge here at Alamo Stadium. MacArthur and Marshall at Ferris. Corpus Christi, Flower Bluff, and Bernie and New Braunfels will travel to Denton, Ryan at Mary Hardin Baylor at 7 o'clock tonight.
Camping with KSAT, powered by Davis Law Firm.
A major setback for the Dallas Cowboys for the season he's even started. Right now, Pro Bowl and All-Pro left tackle Tyron Smith went down in practice last night. His season could be over. You knew it was not good when you just collapsed trying to block downfield with very little contact. An MRI today revealed he suffered a fusion fracture of the left knee, meaning the hamstring tendon at the back of his knee actually pulled off the bone. Will require surgery. The best case scenario is that Tyron is back in December. If he makes it back at all this season, that means Smith has missed more games than he's played in the last 2 seasons, out of 19 games versus playing in 13, and hasn't had a complete season since 2015.
Yeah, it's very tough. Like I was saying, I was the first person over there. I was in pass protection. All of a sudden, I just see him over on the ground. Didn't even care about where the ball was downfield, the cover and finish. I just instantly right to him, and you saw literally everyone on offense, even defensive guys run over. When a guy like that goes down, it doesn't even matter who it is. This team's so close. Doesn't matter who goes on the ground. Everyone's trying to get over there and see if they're all right and get them back up.
Yeah, and what that means is Connor will probably be starting now. This is the first night of the high school football season. Don't forget to follow us on KSAT.com, BGC.com, and on Twitter for all the latest scores, and on the Night Beat for all the highlights for you. And just arriving now, you can see down on the field, Mark, if you don't mind, that is the Brackenridge Eagles have arrived at Alamo Stadium getting ready for the big game tonight. Back to you guys.
They're there early. I wish I was there. High school football underway. Thank you.
On your dinner break.
Yeah, they'll just jot over.
Stop over. We'll be right back. Thank you so much for watching the News at 5 with us.
World News is up next. We'll see you right back here at 6.